Buddha was in festive mood. Alhaji Ahmadu Bello, Sardaunan of Sokoto, was due to arrive on the first stage of his tour of Ilorin province. The Northern Region Premier flew in from Kaduna. Greeted by acting resident Mr. Wilson and by the Emir of Borgu, Alhaji Muhammadu Sani, he also received an enthusiastic welcome from a large house, all eager to catch a glimpse of him on his first visit to Buddha. The Premier was invited to inspect a guard of honor mounted by Borgu N.A. police. A special flight over the Kawasa dam site had been arranged before the party returned to Buddha to watch traditional dancing outside the Emir's palace. The following morning, the Premier drove to Agwara. As at Buddha, he was given a great reception. Throughout his tour, people were to come from far and wide to see him. Drummers and traditional dancers put on a fine display for their visitors. Everyone was infected with the spirit of the occasion. It was indeed a great day for the people of Agwara. The cars carrying the Premier and his party drove from Agwara to Rafia on the next stage of his tour. A special visit was paid to the onion fields from which the villagers derive a large part of their income. On the way back to Buddha, where he was to stay the night, the Premier stopped at Shaganu. There he met members of the village council and visited the council chamber. Back at Buddha, after having attended meetings of the West Borgu District Council and the Borgu N.A. Divisional Council, the Premier witnessed a special canoe regatta staged in his honor. Competition was keen, and the skill and energy shown by the canoeists added to the excitement. The following day came a visit to the Wawa Senior Primary School. The Premier chatted with the children and reminded them that they would be Nigeria's men and women of tomorrow. He urged them to study hard so that they might enter universities, where they could better qualify themselves for public and commercial services. Deeply interested in promoting progress in every field, the Premier was taken by launch to the Kawasa dam site. This project is intended to provide both hydroelectric power and improved facilities. Councillors who presented him with a formal address. In reply, he stated that real progress would only come under peace, prosperity, law, and order. He reminded the councillors that they were the people's representatives and should therefore work faithfully in the interest of their people. A visit to a junior primary school. Ever concerned with the future of his country, the Premier showed a keen interest in educational establishments throughout his tour. At Ilorin town, the Ahmadu Bello received the most spectacular reception of his 6-day tour. The Emir, Malam Sulu Gambari, and his councillors had met him, and he drove into the town at the head of a long procession of cars. This is the Emir's palace, where the visitors were to stay whilst in Ilorin town. They were to visit Shari, Lapiagi, and Pategi, and later return to Ilorin for the final stage of the tour. Friday fell whilst the party was at Ilorin, and the distinguished visitors were accompanied by many local men of importance when they went to Friday prayer. On a triumphal tour of the town, the Premier was received in a manner which had become characteristic of his tour of the whole province. Wherever he had gone, he had been greeted with enormous enthusiasm. Thousands of people had traveled miles in order to see him and hear him speak. For the Ahmadu Bello, the tour had indeed been a great personal triumph. As to the future, the people of Ilorin province had demonstrated their confidence in the Premier and had shown that they identified themselves wholeheartedly with the northern region of Nigeria.